Welcome back, everyone, to Confessions of a Loveaholic. I am your host, Emmy Hernandez, and I have an amazing guest for you today. I have Miss Tamika Carlton. And let me tell you, Tamika is a powerhouse. She is an entrepreneur, a relationship expert, and she is determined to break the statistic that only 14% of people are truly happy in their relationships. Oh my goodness, that's a horrible stat. That is absolutely horrible. She believes that quality relationships, whether platonic or romantic, are essential for unlocking happiness. We agree, my friend. We
Yes.
agree. It increases income and improves overall health. We were talking about this offline. People don't understand that
No,
everything is
it
connected.
really is.
Okay. And she's going to prove it to you. Okay. Because, you don't have to believe us. We got proof, honey, baby. We have
Right.
proof. She is the CEO and founder of Couples Experience and Quality Relationships Co. Tamika is changing lives through inclusive and luxurious retreats and relationship masterclasses, subscription gift boxes. Ooh, yummy. We got to sign up for those.
Right.
And she has a dedicated community through her thought leadership that has been featured on, get this. She has been featured on the one and only The Oprah Winfrey Show in Authority magazine. So obviously she is solidified her reputation as a rising influencer. Tamika, welcome.
Thank you so much. That was a great intro. Like, I'm here for that.
That's you, babe. That's you. I'm just here trying to shine your light, baby.
I was like, I love that. Who is that person? No, I'm kidding. That's great. No, that's awesome. Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here. And one of you gave a magnificent introduction, but we really do help couples and individuals thrive by achieving quality relationships through couples experience. So that is what I do all day, every day. Seriously.
I love it. Let's get into it. So, Tamika, one of the things that I got really excited about that you discuss in your area of expertise is around quality relationships and
Mhm.
improving not just the love life, but the happiness index, income, and health. So, for our listeners, what the heck do those three have to do together? Aren't they completely different?
Listen, they are completely different elements in life, but the foundation for each of those elements is really coming from your happiness. And your happiness, to a large degree, not all of it, but a large degree of your happiness comes from the people that you're around. I'm a strong believer in love connections and love bonds between romance or and platonic relationships. So ultimately, if you have quality, solidified, really good relationships, you can absolutely improve your income, your health, and your overall like wellness. And I'm a strong believer in that. I see my clients produce those results when they really have a clear understanding of that, in addition to myself. Like I am a true example of that occurring in life. So I preach it, I promote it, and I am all about it.
I love it. Can you give us an example of how a happy, healthy connection or relationship, let's say with a platonic friend, someone that's a really good friend, maybe a best
Sure.
friend, how
Sure.
can that increase our income?
Absolutely. I mean, I think about, a lot of people join these like really good entrepreneurial entrepreneurial like membership groups, for example. And even for myself, I've had been in membership communities. And before I was in those communities, I did not have any real entrepreneurial friends that understood what I was really experiencing. I had a best friend outside of the entrepreneurial world. And of course, that best friend was supportive of what I was doing, but there wasn't a clear understanding of what that meant to be in this industry or that system. So being able to be around people that really grasp your experiences as an entrepreneur can take you to the next level. And it did that for me because I was able to connect and express myself vulnerably about what I'm experiencing as a CEO and an entrepreneur. And a lot of times, even in a romantic relationship, we are not willing to break down our true barriers, and that's the only way that we can get to the other side. It's the same thing when you are in a relationship or in a friendship. You have to be able to be vulnerable and transparent, and when you get to that place, you are able to cross the limits that you thought were there for you. So it's pretty key.
Absolutely. You know, one of the main things that I work on with my clients, Tamika, and I think you'll agree with this, I think you do this with your clients as well, is learning the art of releasing and letting go those friendships and
Yes.
those people that
Ugh,
no longer serve
yes.
this chapter in your life. And
Yes.
there's a grieving process to that.
Yes.
There's a grieving process to it. And but getting to the other side is just, once you're on the other side, it's so powerful, right?
It really is.
Like you become so magnetic, like quantum things happen, like magic
Absolutely.
happens in your life. Do you
Yes.
want to
Yes.
tell people a little bit about like what happens when you choose that? Because one of the reason why this podcast is called Confessions of a Loveaholic is because we discuss the addiction that we have
Yes.
towards the current
Uh,
life or what's
uh,
familiar. So
yes.
how do we break that addiction to
Yeah, listen,
keep going out?
the addiction is real because it's comfortable, as you said. And I think the main way to break that is to really make a decision for yourself. And it takes a while to get to that place to make that decision. But what is it that you really want for yourself? You're absolutely comfortable in staying, but everything in your life is actually uncomfortable because of you're staying in this type of relationship. You know it, you're resisting it. You're resisting the truth. So once you get on the other side, not only do you feel like you have built up this worthy sense of understanding that your own keen instinct is truly reliable and you can trust that. And then on the other side, you also get this experience of attracting the key people that need to be in your life for you to reach the next level or for you to be in a better relationship, whether that's romantic or platonic. I mean, I just had this situation with myself, to be honest. I had a friendship of over 25 years, really bad. Like, really, it was a great, somewhat great friendship. I think we held on to history and we were really causing both of us to be stagnant to a certain degree. And once myself and her finally released it, it wasn't the greatest ending, but at the end of the day, it ended. Once we released that, not even joking, I have the best friends that I could have ever imagined. It's like that whole time I was holding on to this idea of what I wanted it to be and what I wished it was, but the truth of the matter is it was not that. And then once I made the decision to let it go, the universe offered me everything that I absolutely needed and wanted. So,
I love that. And that is the epitome of, and this applies to all relationships,
yes.
romantic and
Yes.
non-romantic, around the idea of letting go of the okay or the good
Yes.
relationships so that you can create room for the extraordinary, for the
Absolutely.
magnificent.
Absolutely. And I think we all want that. We all have this desire to achieve that. But it's we are allowing ourselves to be in a space that is more reliable in the moment when the truth is that we are most definitely destined for more, and more requires more of us as well because we have to do what we've never done before, right? And I think that just that anticipation causes some anxiety, just that anticipation of the unknown, but the unknown is actually the glory of the whole experience. Like, I think that's the best part of it.
I love it. And this is the part where people need to understand that, yes, you're right. There is there is going to be temporary discomfort. There might be
Sure.
some sadness,
Sure.
there might be some
Sure.
loneliness.
Yeah.
But once you get through that, instead of avoiding it, right? So don't
Mhm.
avoid it. You
Mhm.
get through that,
Mhm.
and this, going to back to your point around the unknown, the
Mhm.
universe will surprise you. Like, you have to
Yes.
recognize that when you like just say yes without knowing to what is next, the
Yes.
universe then comes in and fills the void. Because remember, the universe does not like uh openness, and not openness doesn't like void, so it needs to fill it. But you need
Yes.
to create a void in order for it to
Yes.
fill it for what you want.
Yes, yes. This reminds me when you said yes, it reminds me of Shonda Rhimes wrote a book about her saying yes to things for a year. Shonda Rhimes from Grey's Anatomy. And she just for this because she was normally the person that would say no to things like I used to be. And over time she realized that she was hindering herself from discovering more. So she made a deal with herself to say yes to every invite, every opportunity, all of the things, right? And when she did that, you open your world up to something that's so incredible. And that was really one of the reasons why I met Logan, my now husband, was because I was more willing to say yes, although I kind of wanted to say no. Just saying.
Ooh, I love it. Let's get into the tea on this. Let's get into the tea on this because I love it. So, one of the reasons I was super excited to have Tamika on the show is because she did meet her soulmate, and she's going to discuss the ripple effect of what happens when you say yes to things, right? So,
Yes.
tell us, how did you meet your soulmate? We want all the tea on that, and like, how is life now, and how do you know he's your soulmate? That's like a gazillion questions at once, but
I
you're a woman.
love all the
Handle
questions.
it.
Yeah, I got it. So we met each other in Chicago. We live in Georgia now. I'm originally from Seattle. Logan is originally from New York. We met in Chicago at a day party. The reason that I was at the day party was because a friend of mine had invited me, and she was like, "You should just come," like, and this was a new friend. Like, I hadn't even been friends with her for maybe a month. And I was like, "Okay, whatever. I'll go to your party." And I went by myself. Normally, I would not go to a party or gathering alone. But I was like, let me just say yes to this. I went there, and mind you, this person is actually originally from Charlotte. Like, she lives in Charlotte. I go to the party. We're at the party having a good time. I see this guy across the way at the bar. He looks at me. I look at him, and I'm like, whatever. Anyways, I'm not even thinking about him. He ends up coming over to me. He talks to me. We have a decent conversation, but I was like really not in the mindset to have a conversation with a guy at the time. I was just kind of on my own journey of living my best single life. And I was like, "Oh, great to meet you. I'm going to go hang out with my friends." And he ended up following me over to my friends because he was very convinced and connected, obviously. And we like hit it off. After that, I took a picture with him. I never take pictures with people on the first time that I meet them. But we took a picture together. We went on a date, and our first date was like 8 hours long. Now, come to find out, he had been invited by the same person in Charlotte just 2 weeks ago. So, like, it was like all of it had just came together serendipitously. But our first date, he was like, "What's your favorite food?" And I was like, "Mexican." And he like organized the most fantastic date to take me to a great Mexican restaurant. We literally talked about everything. We went to 3 different locations on that first date, which was crazy. And it was just a really good, decent experience, right? And even after I left that day, I was like, I don't really, I mean, I'm interested. He's interesting. I wouldn't mind hanging out with him again, but it wasn't an immediate, like, this is the one, I didn't get that feeling. I realized that he was the one probably after our third date. And I went home, he went home, and I had to get up really early the next day, and I called him, and I was just wanted to say hi, and he didn't answer, and I got worried. I was like, "Why am I worried that he's not answering the phone?" Like, who cares about this new person? But I couldn't even like get myself together through the day because I didn't talk to him. And when I spoke to him, I like felt like this sense of just comfort after talking to him. And I was like, okay, this is different. This feels different. And obviously over time it grew, and now I know for sure that we are soulmates because he challenges me more than I could have ever imagined, and he really does force me to break down every thought that I thought was quality about me already. He forces me to heal through these things because he is requiring more of me and vice versa. And I think that's when you know you have a soulmate for sure.
I love this. I want to make sure we clarify because I know exactly what you're talking about. I want to make sure we clarify and have maybe it's a different word And maybe it's context around what it means to force.
Yes,
Right.
yes, yes,
Because
yes, yes. No.
let's, for the listeners, let's
Yeah,
give them, because I have, so one of the things I tell my ladies around challenges, and so, it's, when we say challenges, it's someone who inspires you and not someone who
sure,
pushes you, right? So push is contextual around, like, they know that you can do better, and like maybe
sure.
you're not believing yourself, kind of thing. So do you want to give us some more context around
I
force?
think it's not even a in like, say for example, it being supportive. I feel like sometimes people will uplift you and say, hey, you could really do this, I believe in you to do this. That is great for some people. For me, I was in a space in which I've always been very sensitive, right? A very sensitive person, and very connected to people. And I always felt like I knew a lot better than, or always was right to a certain degree. And he really does inspire me to think things through and differently. Like, for example, if we get into an argument, or when we used to get into an argument early on in the relationship, I would be the type of person that literally wanted to run away. Okay. Because I didn't want to have the conversations. I did not feel like the conversations were warranted or needed. Right. And I even talk to my clients about this. And it's funny how you can tell your clients, no, you need to have the conversation. And I was like, I don't want to have the conversation. But it was one of those things that he was like, no, we have to work through these situations, and it required me to listen differently and to allow myself to break down the why behind what I was feeling, right? So I think it's not forcing, it's more of being being more in a providing you with a space in which you feel that you are more capable, and you can be in a trusting state in which you can express yourself fully, right? So it's not forcing, but it's like, let me bring this out of you. You have this, let me bring it out of you by me being supportive and just being present for you.
And that, my lovelies, is what a healthy masculine man will do,
Yes,
right?
it's true.
Healthy masculine men hold themselves, and they pride themselves in the integrity of being strong enough to hold the
Sure,
two of you, right?
sure.
Being strong enough to hold and carry all of your emotions, even when we don't want to address them. And you're just like,
No,
why do I'm crying, and now I'm crying more because I don't know why I started crying.
right,
Right.
right.
So a healthy masculine man will bring, so this part's important. How do you feel after he inspires you, or he calls upon your wounded
Mhm,
feminine, maybe in the moment,
mhm.
and you're like a little girl that didn't want to address that? But how do you feel after all of this is said and done? Does he love on you and dote on you, or is he pushing you away and being mean to you?
No, absolutely, he was loving and very present, and I feel free. Like, it's almost like you feel like this breakthrough, right? You feel vulnerable, but you feel a release, and I think and you feel like he is now taking on what you've experienced, and that just it provides you with this foundation in which it can't be broken, right? It provides this strong foundation, and solidifies what you're experiencing. So,
I love that. Thank you so much for bringing that up, because it's
of
so
course.
important for the ladies to understand that healthy masculine men can take
Yes.
on all of
Yes.
our emotions, want to. They might have a lot of extra questions that we don't even know how to verbalize in the
Sure.
moment, but they're open to staying there and take that on for us and transmute it, right? That the energy just gets transmuted. And here's what's really important. Like, being with your soulmate does not mean that you're not going to get triggered. You're going to get
Oh,
triggered because
no.
we have a
Yeah.
lot of wounds, right?
Oh, for sure. Like,
Here's the
hello.
thing though. When the triggers come up, they're coming up for resolution. And because
Yes.
now you're in a safe space, they kind of get dissolved.
Hmm.
They get dissolved, and maybe they come up later on. But for the most part, once you realize that he's not running away and he's not going anywhere, you go,
Right.
oh, Okay. Oh, this feels good.
Yes, yeah, look at
Now you're saying it feels
right.
good.
It's true. It's true, and I think that is one of the reasons why you can the proof is in the pudding of when you are in a solid relationship, a loving relationship, that transcends beyond just that relationship, right? That transcends how you are and you being able to heal the triggers and understand your wounds and express yourself comfortably. All of those things move through all of your life, right? With familiar relationships, your colleagues, your friends, everyone. And that is why it's so important to be more apt to breaking down your barriers within your partner relationships because it can just, I'm a strong believer that it makes the world a better place, honestly.
Absolutely. You and me too, friend. I tell people that when my mastermind coaches tell me like what's your mission? Like what's your overarching mission? I'm like
Mhm.
I'm on a mission to create a love revolution. And they're like, "What does that mean?" I'm
Yes.
like, "Right." I'm like,
Yes.
"We got too many
Yes.
other revolutions going on." I was like, "We
Yes.
when more people fall in love, like healthy
Mhm.
love, it creates a
Mhm.
ripple effect throughout the planet and people do more good things."
Absolutely, and I think when we talk about, like, love revolution or, like, just more loving relationships, like, it feels like it's gonna be, like, this kumbaya world, but the truth is it's gonna be a world that can accept challenges and work through the challenges. It's going to be a world that's going to be more open to understanding that I may not think like you, but I'm going to listen to you anyways. I'm going to respect your opinion and who you are because this is important for us to continue our connection and bond. If you think less about yourself and you realize that it's more about others, right? And that's really what true love and true relationships, romantic and platonic, do. Like it's unconditional because we may not always understand or agree or all of the things, but we're willing to stick around so that we can get to the other side together, no matter what that looks like.
I love that. And listeners, this is why it's so important for the work that you're doing, Tamika, because
Mhm.
when people don't understand that, people assume that maturity comes with age, and that's not
No,
true.
no, no.
There's no such like I can tell you like there are people in my life right now that I can tell you they're almost 70
Yes.
years old and
Yes.
have a communication style of a 5-year-old. In fact, I
Mhm,
won't
mhm,
I won't offend 5-year-olds because the person
mhm,
I'm thinking
mhm,
of is way more immature than the
mhm.
5-year-olds I know. So, mature communication comes from learning it. Okay, we are
Mhm.
not born with this. So, Tamika, tell us about your retreats. Tell us about these luxurious retreats and your master classes where people can learn how
Yeah.
to consciously and
Yes.
clearly learn mature communication because we're not just as of now, we can't just get zapped with it. I mean, I'm sure people are working on
I
it,
wish we could, okay? Because
right?
I got some people to zap. No.
Right? Zap, 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 zap. But for now, right, they got to come to you, they got to come to me. So tell us
Yes.
about your master classes, the retreats, and how can people find out more about this?
Yeah, absolutely. So we typically host about 4 retreats a year, probably more this year. But typically it's international retreats, and I want to do some more local ones in the States. But anyhow, we host 4 luxury retreats and we take whisk people away to a wonderful destination to get them out of their comfort zone, but to really feel relaxed and in a state of comfortability. I love that word, comfortability, by the way. And ultimately they don't have to worry about anything. All we do is offer them opportunities to connect with the experts that we bring out. We've had relationship coaches, we've had sex therapists, we've had psychic readers. The point is for you to elevate within your relationship, connect more with your partner, connect more with yourself, and then connect more with other couples. I think one of the best things about our retreats, or what I feel is one of the best things about our retreats, it's a little bit more intimate, typically no more than 5 couples, and they span the gamut of diversity, age, all of the things, and I think one of the main priorities for me is for everyone to learn from one another's experiences. If you're a younger couple, you have something to teach an older couple, right? And a lot of times people don't feel that way, but the truth is that we can learn from one another. So you're in this space in which you have fireside chats, you have workshop opportunities to connect with one another. We do a communication workshop where we really sit down either one on one or within a group and we share our experience, and there's coaching throughout that with a communication expert too. But yeah, the point is for us to enjoy ourselves, and then we have activities outside of the retreat where we go do like physical activities, whether that's zip lining or we've done like team bonding activities. But it's the point is for us to all elevate.
I love that. So how do people sign up for this?
Yes, yes. You can go to couplesexperience.com.
I love it. Tamika, thank you so much for everything that you brought up today. I think we covered so many really yummy topics that
Sure.
need to be talked
Yeah.
about. So do they go to the same place to sign up for a masterclass with you, or is that a different place?
Yes, couplesexperience.com, or feel free to connect with me on social media on Instagram, Tamika_Carlton JBP.
Beautiful. We're going to put everything down in the show notes. Tamika, I really appreciate you coming to hang out
Yes,
with
it's been
us
a pleasure.
today. And everyone, go check out her Instagram. Sign up to go to those luxurious retreats. When's the next one
Yes.
happening?
The next one is actually going to be in May.
Beautiful. And where
Yeah.
where are we going?
May is Spain.
Ooh, I love it. España. Paella,
España.
everybody.
I love it.
We're gonna have some paella, we're gonna have some wine, and we're gonna
Yes,
do
some
some
good wine.
flamenco.
Okay.
Wine. Spanish wine is amazing. Some flamenco. By
Yeah.
the way, the first time I got to experience, so I lived in Spain for a summer through a study abroad
Ooh,
program. It was amazing.
I can only
And I
imagine.
got to go to this like underground flamenco show, and this was the first time that I got to experience. This was 19-year-old Emmy. I got to experience what I call soft porn,
Oh
where I was
gosh.
like, yeah, I was like, oh my God, what is happening?
And
Everybody
you were
was
young.
yeah, everybody was fully clothed, and I did not know that women could breathe this way. Like her sex, again, fully clothed,
Yeah.
nobody was touching each other. It was just this like true flamenco is like soft porn.
Yes.
So yes, like so I
I'm
hope
here for
your
it.
crew, I hope your group is
I'm
going
like,
to
do we need to
this.
go to the underground flamenco
Yes,
show?
yes. It is no joke. And again, it was a very traditional, authentic flamenco show.
Yes,
So I feel
yes.
like I was exposed to like the real deal. And
That's the
yeah,
best.
I was like, this is amazing. So I'm excited that your crew is going to
Oh,
Spain.
for
So
sure.
we're gonna have to look up the underground flamenco show.
Yes, we are for real.
This one was in Barcelona, but I know they have them all over
Oh,
Spain.
tons. Yeah.
I love it. Tamika, thank you again so much for having us,
Thank you.
having being on our show.
Yes.
Any final words for our listeners?
Yes, I would just like to say invest in quality relationships and let the rest of them go. Like, if it's not working for you, let it go.
That's the best note ever.
Period.
Period. Thank you, Tamika.
Thank you.